into an army to rise up against their oppressors.
Freedom!
Different tactics and choices have different risks and rewards. The adventure Malgrave Trail is the ultimate example. It's kind of like old school Oregon Trail, with no dysentery. While you escort your caravan, you'll need to pick from roughly a gajillion different routes. Gather resources, rest, defend against enemies and the elements, and deal with some unexpected gameplay encounters like tiptoeing the caravan through a vermin-infested minefield, or building tower defenses to fight off an ambush. Some routes are more explorer-friendly, some are more settler-friendly. Your choices make all the difference, and no two runs are the same. How about a gangster murder mystery, where you choose who to align with and who to oppose? Boom. Crime Lords of Whiteveil.
Or a massive strategic tower defense where you build up.
Just like a dungeon, when played during Elder Game, in Veteran mode, you can earn the sweetest of loot. Elder Game content with unique gameplay mechanics, branching stories, and
My master died to save me. Everyone has a reason to live. I live for revenge.
I am an artist.
The sword is my brush. Vengeance is my muse.
The divine path of beauty is my inspiration.
My soul.
In Path of Fire, we were returning back to the Crystal Desert and to Northern Alona. We wanted to go back to a place that means a lot to players and is now fresh.
The last time we visited the Crystal Desert was in Guild Wars Nightfall. That was 250 years ago.
There are iconic locations and landmarks that will be very recognizable for players who are familiar with the Guild Wars franchise, but at the same time we're building the lore and the story in such a way that if you weren't there for the beginning, there's a crisis going on in Alona, in an area that we have not been back to in 250 years.
Path of Fire starts with reports that Balthazar has been wreaking havoc in the desert.
Balthazar is the human god of war and fire. Last we had heard that the gods had kind of stepped away from Tyria.
Human players have been worshiping him since Guild Wars 1. But then he shows up and he's not benevolent, right? Everyone in Alona has the exact same questions. We don't know what he hopes to achieve at this point, and that's what you and everyone in the region is trying to figure out.
Palawa Joko has risen into power. He has brought with him an army of undead, and he has totally warped the culture that is there.
How is this region dealing with these crises? What different powers are taking advantage of the scenario? How are they trying to solve it? And how can you as the player try to help? It's already this volatile mix of different forces in the region.
One of the first factions you're going to encounter.
Armor created only to serve Balthazar. They're ruthless, and they're just dedicated to achieving his goals.
Another faction that you're going to be seeing is the Awakened, the army of the ruler of the land, Palawa Joko.
Undead forces, they still have some remnants of memories. They're sentient, but they will do anything for their master.